Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and specifically, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin shorts chart, because if we come over here to the Bitcoin shorts chart, we're going to see that the Bitcoin shorts chart here on Bitfinex is screaming some very important information at us over the last 72 hours. You can see Bitcoin short sellers have been getting absolutely slaughtered in these three red candlesticks over the last 3 days or so. Bitcoin shorts have dropped from around around 35,000 shorts to where they are now of around 25,000 shorts. Short sellers, in short, have been getting absolutely slaughtered. And what you would expect from a short squeeze like this isn't a squeeze because it hasn't happened all at once, but a massive short fall off like this, what you would normally expect from that is a big rally in Bitcoin price action, because all of those shorts being covered and being liquidated puts buying pressure on the Bitcoin market, because of course to close a short, you have to buy back into the position of the asset that you borrowed. But interestingly enough, Bitcoin has really been going down over the last couple of days. Now, of course, we expected a pullback after the good rally that we've seen over the last 9 days or so. But at the same time, this does tell us something important about the strength of the Bitcoin bulls and the strength of the Bitcoin bears, which of course is a very important thing to understand when we're doing our technical analysis. So we're going to be doing some TA on the Bitcoin shorts chart, and then we're also going to be doing some short-term TA on Bitcoin and try to get an idea of where it's going to be going over the next 24 to 72 hours or so. But anyway, guys, before we get into today's video, if you enjoyed today's video, as always, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing the notification bell if you haven't already. It does help out the channel, and I would appreciate it if you did it, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Bitcoin is currently trading just under $7,000, as you can see over here, right around $6,963. It seems that that little correction that I was talking about yesterday, Freudian slip, I guess, that little correction that we were talking, I almost said it again, that little correction that we were calling for yesterday did happen a little bit. If we come in here to the hour chart, we're going to see Bitcoin did have a little bit of a correction before coming back up and setting a bottom at $6,800 just a few hours ago. We saw Bitcoin start falling off over here a little while after the video went live, and then we saw Bitcoin set a very definitive and a very strong bottom right down very close to $6,800, which is exactly what we were hoping for, a bottom down here around $6,800 to $6,900 to kind of cool off some of the indicators and oscillators so that Bitcoin could reset and continue going higher. Anyway, before we get too in-depth on the Bitcoin TA, let's go ahead and do our crypto market recap. As we can see, if we give CoinMarketCap a little refresh here, Bitcoin is trading just a little bit under $7,000, and it's down by about 1.28% over the last 24 hours. If we sort by change over the last 24 hours here, we're going to see Dogecoin is doing very, very well. I always find it funny that a meme coin is worth $378 million right now. Could you imagine a $378 billion Dogecoin? I do remember when Dogecoin, the biggest meme coin in existence, passed $1 billion in market value. That was an interesting time. Kind of exemplified the massive run up on some of these altcoins that perhaps didn't deserve the valuation that they had. But nevertheless, without getting too sidetracked, Dogecoin is up by about 25% in the last 24 hours. Nulls is up 13.7%. I know some of you guys are big fans of Nulls, and Loom Network is up 13.3%. If we sort by losers, then we see Noah Coin, the one that either in yesterday's video or the day before yesterday was up, I believe it was 132%. It's now down 22.79%. I checked the chart on Noah Coin. Noah Coin was trading at about 18 times where it is right now just a little while ago. So Noah Coin's been getting slaughtered. So that 132% rally, probably some people that were holding bags on Noah Coin were pretty excited to see that. But nevertheless, if we check the rest of the market, overall, the altcoins aren't doing very well today. It kind of correlates with the little pullback that we've seen in Bitcoin's price action over the last 24 hours or so. That's perfectly fine, guys. It's just some healthy consolidation. Bitcoin needed to cool off a little bit after hitting a lot of resistance up here and after moving northerly so very quickly over the last week or so. Bitcoin, of course, needed to cool off. And when Bitcoin cools off, typically the altcoins tend to cool off as well. And there's really nothing to be worried about here. We're not seeing some massive blood in the street kind of event like we've seen in recent memory. But if we come back here to sorting by market cap, then we see Bitcoin's volume is hovering right around a very normal level, around $4.5 billion. That is pretty bog standard for Bitcoin. Nothing really remarkable there. Total market capitalization is hovering just over $120 billion, and total market capitalization for Bitcoin is hovering just over $120 billion, and total market capitalization is still hovering around $225 billion. Like I've said in a couple of other videos, I would like to see this get back up above $250 billion. That would be a bullish sign for me. I believe that's all we wanted to cover on CoinMarketCap, so let's go ahead and get into the main point of today's video, and that would be the Bitcoin shorts chart. If we come over here to the Bitcoin shorts chart, like I talked about in the intro, short sellers have been getting absolutely slaughtered over the last 72 hours. We can see just a little about 73 hours ago when this opened, because this candlestick right here is only about, well, an hour and 19 minutes and 29 seconds old. These last three candlesticks right up here at the top of this one, about 73 hours ago, there were 35,000 shorts listed on Bitfinex. Currently, there are 25,000 shorts listed on Bitfinex. Over the last after the last 72 hours, Bitcoin has lost about 10,000 shorts, which was about a 30% reduction. And what you would normally expect when you see shorts fall off that quickly is you would expect a big northerly movement in Bitcoin's price action, right? Because when you have a short, what you do when you short something is you borrow an asset, in this case Bitcoin, you sell it at market price, and then you come back and you cover it later by buying it back lower. It's basically the opposite of buying low, selling high. You borrow high and buy low, I guess. So normally when you see shorts retracing like that, you would expect to see some northerly price movement. You would expect to see Bitcoin moving up. Now, of course, this goes in contradiction to what we talked about in yesterday's video, where we were expecting a pullback here, and I still do stand by that video. But at the same time, when you see that many Bitcoin shorts just get slaughtered, and you see that many Bitcoin shorts get covered and liquidated, you would think that the Bitcoin market would be able to at least set some green candlesticks right here. So that's kind of interesting. I want your opinion in the comment section down below. What do you think that says about the strength of the Bitcoin bulls and the strength of the Bitcoin bears? Because normally, if the bulls and the market are kind of lined up where the bulls are very strong and also the market looks very strong, because those two things are very separate. When the market is very strong and when the bulls look very strong, if you see a bunch of shorts fall off like this, if you see a bunch of shorts fall down like this, that's even worse. If you see shorts crash this much, then you would typically see Bitcoin move in a northerly direction quite a bit more than we have in the last couple of days. That's something I want to draw your attention to. Let me show you an example of a short squeeze and what I mean by Bitcoin and what I mean by the power of Bitcoin shorts. Because Bitcoin shorts are very, very powerful. When you see a bunch of shorts come down, when you see shorts crash as much as they have over the last 72 hours or so, typically you do see a lot of bullish price action on Bitcoin. If we come in here to the hour chart, I want to bring your attention back to the beginning of April. It's right there. Let's get the chart over here. That's going to take a second to load, but in early April, what we saw was Bitcoin was in a consolidation pattern, and after that consolidation pattern ended, we're going to have to go a little ways over here, right over here. Right over here, Bitcoin was in a consolidation pattern, and when it broke bullish out of this consolidation pattern, a lot of short sellers got absolutely wrecked. Right over here, you can see in 1 hour, Bitcoin jumped, I believe it was about 8% if I remember correctly. No, excuse me, it was about 12%. Bitcoin jumped about 12%. I was thinking of $800. It jumped about $800, close to $1,000 and 12% in the span of 1 hour. And what that was a short squeeze. We saw a bunch of shorts get liquidated, and what we saw here was a chain reaction of bullish action. I love using that phrase because I'm a poet and I don't even know it. But what we saw right over there is that a bunch of shorts were getting liquidated, they were getting covered, a lot of stop losses were getting triggered, and then when those shorts got triggered, when those stop losses got triggered, then that caused a lot of buying pressure to come back into the market, which pushed Bitcoin even higher, which hit more stop losses, which covered more buy orders, which covered more shorts, which caused more shorts to get liquidated, and we saw a massive crash in Bitcoin shorts over here. We could see Bitcoin shorts fell from about about 40,000 shorts down to about 27,000 shorts. We lost about 10,000 shorts in the span of about 2 hours. You can see we actually see a gap here in a continuously trading market. You don't see that very common. You don't see that very often. That's not something you normally see, but since shorts fell so very quickly, we did see that kind of action here on this chart. But that just exemplifies I'm showing you that to exemplify the power of the Bitcoin short market, because when the shorts are that overextended, like they have been in recent memory, when Bitcoin shorts were up here around 40,000 again, here I almost said $40,000, back when shorts were back up here around 40,000, and they've been falling so very rapidly over the last week or so, you would expect that to be pushing Bitcoin's price action up, and it has been helping. Don't get me wrong. A lot of these shorts getting covered has been part of the reason that we've been moving north here. But over the last 72 hours or so, when the majority of these shorts have gotten covered, when the most of them have been getting liquidated in this history right here, Bitcoin has been going down. And what that leads me to believe is that the bulls are weaker than they were a week or so ago. Because if the bulls were stronger, then they would be able to use the bullish price action coming from those shorts getting covered, coming from those shorts getting liquidated, to push Bitcoin even higher. In contradiction to some technical indicators like the Bollinger Bands, the Stochastic RSI, and a couple of others I'm about to show you. you would expect the bulls to be able to use that to push Bitcoin even higher in defiance of the technicals, because that can happen. It has happened. I've watched it happen plenty of times, but it hasn't happened. Does that mean the bulls are losing? Does that mean the bulls have run out of steam? Absolutely not. But I do want to point that out as an example of how you can actually gauge the strength of the Bitcoin bulls and the Bitcoin bears, because that's one thing that is very, very important in technical analysis. There's going to be an entire video dedicated to that in the course, which, by the way, the course is coming along. It's going to be launching in September. I know some people have been asking about that. That is still happening. But anyway, that was my point I wanted to bring up on the shorts chart. Typically, when you see shorts crash and you also don't see Bitcoin jump up a lot, then that can kind of give you an idea of how strong the Bitcoin bulls and the Bitcoin bears are. With that in mind, let's do some more short-term technical analysis to wrap the video up and try and get an idea of where Bitcoin is going to be going over the next couple of days, and why it's moved the way it has over the last couple of days. There's one thing I want to draw your attention to, and that would be the Bollinger Bands. I haven't shown you Bollinger Bands recently, but that's because they haven't been very important recently. As we can see in the last couple of days here, Bitcoin did actually breach the outside upper band of the Bollinger Bands, and that's part of the reason that Bitcoin needed a retracement here. I talked about in a recent video, which you can watch in the top right if you're interested, about why, I think it was yesterday's video, about why I was expecting a Bitcoin retracement and a Bitcoin correction here, because Bitcoin had gotten overextended, and as we can see here on the Bollinger Bands tell us that very, very clearly. Bitcoin was due for a correction because we were outside of the Bollinger Bands. About 95% of two standard deviations, about 95% of Bitcoin price action will happen inside the Bollinger Bands. So when you go outside the Bollinger Bands, that is a very good indicator that there is a correction coming one way or the other. If you're going on the upper side, if you're going outside the upper band, then you're likely to have a correction. If you're going outside the lower band, like over here, you're likely to see sideways trading or a new rally forming. So Bitcoin, of course, did need its little correction here. One thing I also want to talk about is the stochastic RSI, because we discussed that in yesterday's video. So let's get that up. If it wants to load, it doesn't want to load. But either way, what we were talking about in yesterday's video is that the stochastic RSI was very, very overextended. I don't know what TradingView is doing. It doesn't want to come up. Well, the stochastic RSI, I'll go ahead and tell you, the stochastic RSI is sitting right up here, right up very, very close to 100. Let me try and get that up. I don't know why TradingView is messing with me today. I don't know why. But stochastic RSI is still very, very overextended. We talked about in yesterday's video, you can see it in yesterday's video, about how stochastic RSI is sitting way, way, way up in overbought territory, and the stochastic RSI is a very, very fast moving, a very, very fast indicator, and typically gives you a good idea of what short-term price action is going to do. And stochastic RSI is starting to come back down. I guess TradingView just doesn't want to cooperate right now. I'll just have to tell you what's going on in stochastic RSI from memory. Stochastic RSI is sitting right up here. It's been sitting right up in this region for the last couple of days. Really, the last week or so, Bitcoin's stochastic RSI has been sitting right up here, and it started to curve down. You're going to have to take my word for this or go check on your own chart, because TradingView hates me today for some reason. But stochastic RSI has started to curve down a little bit, which is something I've been wanting to see, because stochastic RSI, when it starts curving down, can curve down very, very quickly and go back down into oversold territory very, very quickly. It's a much, much, much quicker form of RSI than actual normal 14 RSI is. If we were to set RSI here to 3 in the same way stochastic RSI is set, then it would be a much, much quicker indicator. But stochastic RSI by default is set to 3, 3, 14, 14. So it's a much, and I'm not going to, you guys can go Google what all those numbers mean. I'm not going to get into right now how stochastic RSI is calculated, but my point is it's a much faster indicator, and it is telling us that Bitcoin is probably going to have a little bit more of a continued pullback right here. We're probably going to see Bitcoin continue to correct a little bit, but I don't think it's going to correct much more. Bitcoin did set a very, very firm bottom down here around $6,800. I'd be very fine to see Bitcoin come back down here, get support on this 20 daily EMA again, and then bounce off of it and start going north. I could also very easily see Bitcoin come down here to $6,600 and continue going north. If Bitcoin breaks the 20 daily EMA, I'm not too happy about that, but that would be reminiscent of what we saw back over here after our 5,750 bottom, where Bitcoin briefly got above the 20 daily EMA, fell back below it, and then started the rally. It would not be unprecedented to see Bitcoin come down here below this level, come down here, get back above it, and then go on the rally. That could very easily happen, guys. Overall, I am still bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is definitely going to still be able to continue this rally, and I have talked about in previous videos about why I believe this Bitcoin rally very easily could turn into a new Bitcoin bull run. You can watch that video in the top right if you are at all interested. But anyway, guys, as always, tell me your opinions in the comment section down below. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the Bitcoin shorts chart, because like I said, you can normally use the convergence or divergence, if you want to use those terms, in the Bitcoin shorts chart and the actual Bitcoin price action chart. to get an idea of how strong the Bitcoin bulls and the Bitcoin bears are. And that's a very, very important thing in technical analysis, guys. I don't talk about it too much in videos because it's one of those nitty-gritty details that just doesn't add a whole lot to the videos. But here at the end of this video, I will go ahead and mention it. When you're doing technical analysis, it is extremely important to be able to gauge the strength of two different things: the strength of the Bitcoin bulls and bears and the strength of support and resistance. Being able to gauge those two things plays very, very very well into how well your gut is going to be able to tell you where the market is moving. If you're able to gauge how strong the bulls and the bears are, and if you're able to gauge how powerful levels of support and resistance are, you're well on your way to having a professional gut, which will be able to give you a good idea of where the market is moving. And of course, if you can tell where the market is moving, it's much easier to make money. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below your opinions on the Bitcoin shorts chart. Where do you think Bitcoin is moving over the next couple of days? And do you think that this rally can still turn into a Bitcoin bull run? Are we going to breach the 20 daily EMA and come down to $6,600? Like I said, I want to start a conversation down below. Also, if you want to start a conversation, a good place to do that is in the Discord server. There's a link to join in the description down below. We're about to pass 1,200 members. I love our community over there. We have a lot of great guys over there. And gals. We do have some gals. My audience is like 7% female, but mostly guys. We do have a good community over there. Come on over and join us. And I will definitely try and welcome you. I do try to welcome every single person. Anyway, I'm rambling enough, guys. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.